What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to episode 5 of the podcast. It's a bit later, but I think it's an ideal moment because if we did it when we used to do it, then we would have a complete different outlook on the next 7 game, the next month basically. It's basically a month until the next international break, and the next 7 games are going to be massive because of just purely the quality of teams we're going to play. So that's what we're going to talk about, and all the other stuff that is going around. With me, Julian, on Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, I must say.
Canadian Thanksgiving, yep.
So, how is it going?
Shout out to all the Canadians. Happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully you don't have turkey every single day this weekend. I know I didn't because I prepared myself for only one day of turkey. Too much turkey. Did you guys eat turkey?
I'm going to say once, maybe a year. And that's
Once a year?
That's not a real turkey. It's just like what you put in a sandwich, like
Fair. Yeah. Like deli meat. Yeah. Okay. You have one turkey deli meat sandwich a year? So random.
Yeah, it's like when you're in the shop, you're like, I'm gonna eat that today.
But yeah,
fair. I will never ask for it.
Yeah. All right. Well, us Canadians, and especially the Americans, but theirs is in November, obviously. But we eat the cooked bird, as they say. But yeah, everything's good. We're chilling. Not with the players going down like flies at Juventus, but I'm good. I'm not dropping yet. Still thriving, playing hockey, soccer, all that stuff.
That's good, I guess.
Yeah.
So
I feel better than Bremer. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I was gonna say talking about things being cooked.
The
squad is cooked. Yeah. It's falling apart. It's falling apart, and the latest edition, according to Giovanni Albanese, keep in mind it's recorded Monday, so if Giovanni was wrong again, then don't blame the messenger. But the message is that McKennie is cooked. And I would never sit here. If you ask me in July and you're like, hey, McKennie's staying, but he's injured in mid-October, I'll be like, cool, I guess. Fine. Right now, looking at that situation, it's like, oh, damn, he's injured.
We need players, man. He was all right.
We need players. Because the list is long. Obviously, Bremer is done for the season, so it's kind of... No, we will talk about that because it has an impact, but it is what it is. Like he's gone. Like we will not have him back. Conceição was suspended. Gonzalez is still out for about 2 weeks. Let's say 2 weeks would be nice. Colt Miners is a weird one. Even if he plays, he cannot play 90 minutes because that's impossible to hold up. Even if you wrap him up in bubble wrap and send him out there, he will not hold up. McKennie is out. So that's that, and we have one striker who's playing every single minute, basically. Only
Isn't Way out as well?
Way out will be back in training. According to reports, he will make it for the Lazio game, which means he's not ready for the Lazio game to play, basically. Yeah. Okay. And like I said, Vlahovic is playing every single minute, bar being stopped at halftime against Napoli. That's kind of the situation of the club right now. And to top it off, you have players we haven't seen, Cabal, since that first half against Napoli. And you have Douglas Luiz, who is fighting demons inside himself. And we have, at the top of my head, Lazio, Stuttgart, Inter. I need to lie. I think it's Parma, Udinese, Lille, Torino, something like that.
I know Lille is on in November.
It's in November. We ended with Torino, I think. I think those are the games. Parma, Udinese, Torino in the league, Inter, Lazio, Lille, and Stuttgart, which are intense games because actually every single of those teams are good in their own way. Udinese is doing what I kind of predicted they would be doing. Torino is, well, it's a derby. Parma play all-out attack, which probably suit us, but still, Stuttgart, Lille, Inter, Lazio, it's massive. So the title is Motta's biggest test, and I can see now that I misspelled Motta's name. There's no A in it, but maybe it's needed. It's needed. There is no...
You've done worse.
I've done worse. When I needed to prep quickly, it gets worse and worse. But this is it, I guess. Find a way to remain unbeaten in this 7-game stretch with about 5 to 6 players out.
Yeah. So basically, what you have to do is like, what are the winnable games and win those, and then the other ones just hold on. Like against Inter, oh my God, if those 7 players are no, well, Conceição will be back because there's only suspension,
Yeah, he's
right?
suspended. Yeah.
Okay, but against Lazio, when's the game? Saturday or Sunday?
It's Saturday.
I think Saturday. Yeah, because we play the Champions League midweek. Okay. So off the top of our heads, Mbangula, Yildiz, Vlahovic, and who?
You mean you're gonna start or just
Yep.
available?
Just start available.
Yeah, that's like that's it. Like
Is it Cambiasso starting there, I guess, and then Kalulu start?
Well, he played Cambiasso higher up before the season, so
that's what I mean.
Wasn't a big fan of it, to be honest. But
no, not either.
I don't think he.
But I think that's what he's doing though. He's gonna have to do. So I just like to prep Juventus fans. It's gonna be ugly, but you still need to get the job done. Is my point. You gotta hope Kalulu and Gatti are just like a wall. And in midfield, you have Locatelli obviously playing. Well, he's gonna have to play with Fagioli and Douglas Luiz. And who else? Who else is available? That's it.
That's basically it. Yeah. It's
so Yildiz back at the 10.
Yildiz right? Probably he will be back at the 10.
So oh my God.
Actually, I want to talk about Yildiz in a sec. Talking about.
I'm not. Yeah, you want to go into it right now because I have some thoughts.
Yeah, let's dive into it because I think the last couple of games, I don't say he's been bad, but he's been kind of anonymous in my opinion.
Since he scored in the Champions League.
Yeah, and
he's been ghost.
That game, I remember, like I can recycle that tweet. I was like, before we got that goal, I was like, man, weird. We're pushing Koopmeiners so much to the left hand side. So much, and then midway. The first half, I was like, okay, I get it. The overlapping, Yildiz creating some chaos inside. We didn't really do that ever since. And I think he's struggling with it, with not having that much of a freedom to actually basically do whatever at this point,
He's by himself out there. He's isolated.
So what is your thoughts on
it? He just went full ghost town since he scored a goal. And I'm not, okay, because remember years ago I said, okay, I don't know if this is going to translate. Okay, it translated a bit, but now he's just got to be consistent. That's the biggest thing. I know he's 19, but if you're given the keys, like at a big club like Juventus, you just got to. And I see you score that goal, and we know what you're capable of. You just got 2 assists in the first game, then you scored that Champions League goal. You just got to be more consistent, buddy.
I feel figure it out. The keys were taken away after that game. Like the first couple of games, I was like, he is the guy. Like everything was kind of going through him. Like that was it. It was all going through Yildiz, and I don't think the goal he scored, not the goal he scored, like the almost goal he scored for the national team, when he hit the post, was like, I want to see him more in that position than him needed to take on players, where the player should be taking a corner kick. Like I don't like that. I don't think he's that type of player as well, in my opinion. I don't think he's that, and you're not going to get the best out of him. Sorry?
What are you talking about? What are you saying? Yeah.
I don't think if you're gonna isolate him and tell him he needs, like, he's not Conceição, but we knew that at the beginning. I don't think that's he's not like Conceição. Like the difference is day and night. They're 2 completely different type of players. It works with Conceição, it doesn't work with Yildiz. So he needs to find a solution with it because. Well, he's going to play. He's the only player who stays fit right now, knock on wood. Yeah. So you're going to play him. Obviously, you give him the number 10. You're going to play him. But you need to find a solution with him. And maybe, with Koopmeiners being out, that's his... I don't want to call it... Should I call it luck? But maybe, because the responsibility will go completely to him again, It will be him, against Lazio. If Koopmeiners is not there, it needs to be him. Again, basically, and maybe that's what he needs. But then again, if Koopmeiners is back, you're back to square one. Find a solution. So I don't know. I don't want to slam him. It's
again, he's 19. He doesn't deserve to be slammed. But like, if you're that guy, you got to be consistent.
It's like me. I don't like McKennie on the ball. But if you ask him to do that over and over again, like I did last season, I talked about Allegri. I was like, stop asking him because it's not looking good. You're
Yeah.
not helping anyone. So it's kind of the same thing. However, he still needs to do better, period. I
Yeah.
don't think he's been playing well the last couple of games.
Yeah,
Anonymous.
I agree.
He did well when he came on against Cagliari. Should have come on way earlier to close out that game.
Yeah.
But I guess that's what it is. He needs to deal with it. Like, he needs to man up a little bit because it won't be easy every single time. Even if he plays that free role, going away to Inter, it's a different type of game again. He's going to need to show up. Inter, Lazio, Stuttgart. Actually, it's crazy when you think about it.
That's a hard run of games.
That's a tough. If we stay unbeaten, if we remain unbeaten, and I'm not saying 6 draws and 1 win. Yeah, you're unbeaten, but it's not.
It's not.
It's not good.
You're dropping 12 points still.
Yeah, it's not good.
More.
But like, what will impress you? Like, let's say those 7 games. What
if
will
we
make
stay
you...
unbeaten, it's the defense. It's the defensive structure, and it is the way you can still keep the ball the Motta way. Like, it is boring sometimes. It's for spurts, it's center back, fullback, center back, you know what I mean? But then it is nice when the midfielders are allowed to keep the ball and then just keep it and keep the game ticking. With Allegri, obviously it was try and counter and then sit back and defend. With Motta, at least we know we're going to have the ball. And we're going to see how resolute we are defensively on whenever the other team has the ball. And that's how we're going to not lose. You know what I mean? I don't expect us to concede 3 goals, by the way, to anybody. Just the way we've set up and we're structured to play. But it's going to be tough to score goals.
What will you like? Let's say we remain but what will be impressive? Like 4 wins, 2 draws. Like, what will be impressive? Because I've said if we win, I will be absolutely impressed if we beat Stuttgart and Lille both. Because at that point, I will come out of it and I will be like, from my initial mindset of being like, whatever happens in the Champions League, don't embarrass yourself, just learn it. If we win those next 2, I'm like, okay, we should finish top 8. We should absolutely go for it because you have, I don't know who we have, Bruges, City, Benfica, and I'm blanking out the team.
I am too.
I always blank one team out.
Aston Villa.
I'm like, if you win the first 4, I expect you to beat Bruges. I'm not gonna lie, and I expect you to beat Benfica away from home as well. Like, I don't want to jinx it, but
I think we're home against them, no?
Is it at home? Aston Villa is away.
We're away to Bruges.
We're at home at Benfica.
We're home. Yeah.
Then 100%, I expect you to beat Benfica at that.
And that's in January, and we'll have all our players back.
With that mindset, I'm like, oh, that's massive for this. Like, because right now, that week we had against Leipzig, we didn't like. Let's talk about that because we didn't. Really, that was probably the biggest emotional roller coaster ever that week, or like not even week, like 4 days. It went from extreme highs. I'm not saying to extreme. No, maybe the Bremer one extreme low, but with ending with the Cagliari game, it showed you what we can do and what we also can do right now, and it's insanely good. And I want to say it's insanely poor. It's just insanely naive at one point.
Inconsistent.
A bit inconsistent, which I can understand right now.
We expected that from the beginning with this coach.
Because those 4 days kind of learned me or told me everything I knew, that we have great potential, like insane potential at one point. Like, that's 1. 2, that we have a young coach, a coach who needs to deal with playing every 3 days. He learned that, the hard way, because he waited way too long for certain subs, or like way too long. And you learned that players are very emotional right now, which is good because that kind of helped us win the Leipzig game, but it also didn't help us with that Cagliari game. So balance is needed, but I saw a lot of panic, or not, like maybe a bit overreaction. But if I told you the first episode of the podcast, I think that was preseason still. Maybe if I told you we're gonna do the episode 5 and we're still unbeaten, we would only concede 1 goal and we would have 6 points out of Champions League. One of those games we would have won coming down with 10 men. What would have you told me? Like,
do I know that we tied 4 out of the 7 games?
No, I just told you that's it. And we will be 3 points off the top of the league because
Okay,
that's
so
still a
3 points off
reality.
the top, only 1 goal against, and then 2 wins in the Champions League in the way we came back. Okay, I would say you're kidding. That's it. Like I wouldn't believe you because you know what? No, I wouldn't believe you because I just knew. But this coach, I had so much faith in the coach compared to Allegri that I knew I knew we could attack at least like better in a better way and play better. So I knew we could beat most of the teams. But then defensively, I didn't think we'd be the same, like solid. And it was only a penalty shot that we gave up as well. It's not even like a open play goal. So yeah, I wouldn't believe you. I'll say that.
I actually like defense. Like let's talk about that back line because I have a feeling last season we tried harder to defend and look good.
Yep.
Right now, it doesn't look like we try to defend, but we keep clean sheets. Well, in the league, actually in Europe, that Leipzig game and the PSV one was very late. Whatever. Right now, it feels natural. It feels like based on the setup where last season I came on every single week and I said we defend well because we set back to extreme lengths. Right now, we do not sit back. And we look even more solid than last season.
It has a lot to do with just having the ball. Like this team has the ball all the time, and then you're going to concede those couple of but then you insert a player like Kalulu, who's the fastest guy on earth sometimes, and then Gatti, who's like he's a shit brick house. He's a shit brick house. He is, and you and I spoke about that. Remember, I think a couple months ago, you're like, it's going to be a problem if he's a starter. And we're like, yeah, 100%. But was he not a good third choice center back? Can he not play against those shit teams? I said, yeah, he could. But now we're going to see how much this can continue.
Are you like Berimra's out for the season?
Yeah. So now he's starting. And I'm worried. Of course.
I asked the question, like, should the club have panicked and get a free agent right now? Or because I looked at it and I'm like, it's fair to give Motta a shot to just figure it out until January and then say, okay, we need to do something. Just purely, not because maybe Gatti and all these players are, failing, but just...
It is for a backup, though.
Injuries, like just
depth,
have something. Because a lot of people like Ramos and all that stuff. But we need depth in January, period.
Yeah, no, 100% we do because you literally deleted someone from your squad by getting an ACL injury. Like, you delete someone from your squad, they're not coming back. So now you had, like, let's say you had 23 players in your squad. Now you're 22 and you're one person short. And you don't even want to use Danilo. So that was another. So, looking at the free agents, it was Joel Matip, who just retired.
Yeah, that was crazy. People were calling.
Yeah, it was Sergio Ramos, who's 39, and he's I don't know. He played Sevilla last year, no?
I have no idea. Maybe.
I think he played Sevilla last year.
I thought he retired a year ago.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he plays Sevilla. I don't even know who else is available.
No, the names are depressing. Like they are.
Yeah, so you wait. You have to wait. You figure it out. You make how many days are left until January? There's 2 months and 2.5 months. You just gotta wait. If you bring Sergio Ramos in, he's gonna need a month to get match fit anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And is he gonna do exactly? He's 39. Is he gonna have the athleticism and tenacity to get back into the play like he was at Real Madrid? No, he's not. So it would be a waste of money. Joel Matip, if you signed him, pre us knowing he was going to retire, if you signed him, he'd be on the hospital bed as well. He plays 6 games max. The thing I thought might have happened was recalling Rugani.
Yeah, that's.
But that I know, but like you know what I mean. Like there's an option there. I actually don't know if there's an option because many teams have like different contract clauses, right? So I don't know if they have the recall clause, but like it's slim pickings right now. So just wait. I say wait it out. But you do need something in January, like January 1st. You need to be plotting now and then saying, "Hey, Joel Heto, like please come."
Yeah, we need. I mean, it also depends on what players are available, which team is willing to let this player go.
Like Milan Skriniar, no, please, no.
No, the same thing, and I like. I don't want the club to make a necessary signing. So the Skriniar, I don't like Skriniar. But if they bring in Skriniar for 6 months and at the end of the season, I'm just throwing out Hato's name, not saying it needs to be him.
Yeah.
And the summer they're like, Danilo, goodbye. Skriniar, goodbye on your loan. Hato, you're coming in. I'm like, I get it. You didn't do something stupid in January, commit to a player and end up in a Danilo situation, you know?
Yeah.
Rather than, okay, you get Skriniar, just fix it. Maybe Motta can get him back on track for Serie A, which is good enough because probably we won't make it to very deep in the Champions League. So that's fine, you know? I'm cool with that. But the rumors are that Giuntoli is not willing to buy those type of players, you know, older ones, you know, and just...
On loan, not even on loan.
On loan, okay, but if he spends the money, it needs to be a player who can contribute right now, but also for the next 5 to 6 years or something.
It's a Joel Hato.
Like that's the name out there, but you know,
he's good, man. I like him.
Yeah, he's good, but like, I don't think they're gonna let him go in January. That was kind of my point, because now you have Danilo, who is gonna play. It's just find a way to not let him play 50% of the games, which I think Motta will do, because if you start Savona and Rui and all these guys, then you must really dislike Danilo as a player. I'm sorry. Like, I don't like Danilo, but like Motta can come out and have these nice words. You do not like Danilo.
No,
like,
no.
Like people can still fool themselves. You do not like Danilo. Which game was it? Was it Como? You know, when he brought on Savona, we were 3-0 up. I think it was Como, or was it? I don't know what it was.
He started against Como.
Was it Verona? It was Verona. I think it was Verona or something.
No, he scored against Verona too, so he started both those games.
Danilo?
Maybe the next game.
No,
not Danilo.
No,
Savona.
I'm talking about Danilo. No. I said he didn't bring in Danilo.
Yeah.
I was like, you're done. I think it was match day 1 or 2. I'm like, you're done.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're not. And people are like, it's preseason. He just came back. You know. I'm like, no. He's done. Like,
it's not looking good, bruv.
It's that's understating. So that's a player you're probably gonna need to use just by default right now. Because there's no way the other players are gonna stay fit for the next 15 games until January. It's basically impossible. But we need to deal with it. You know, Bremer is out. We don't like.
We got Caldini.
Yeah. I mean, it is a big... You know what? How I'm looking at it? I'm like, it is a massive loss. It is a massive loss. Like, let's not kid ourselves. But then I'm looking at Napoli's backline, and even the way Inter is playing in a backline, I'm like, we can cope with it in Serie A. Like, we can deal with it, probably. Like, it's massive, because with him, it takes us a step above.
Yes.
However, without it, I'm like, you're probably worse than them, but I don't think it's to a level where I'm like, oh my days, it's Martin Cáceres and Rugani playing center back for us. Like, I don't think it's to that extent, in my opinion.
No, it's not. Like, Gatti is serviceable again, but to start every game, it's questionable, obviously. But Kalulu has been, oh my god, like, revelations. That, and getting it for that cheap, if he's going to play this for the rest of his tenure at Juventus, oh my god, as well. What a steal.
Are you still? Is he on pumpkin watch?
Pumpkin watch?
I'm scared. I'm scared.
It's been 9-10 games.
I'm scared because the level. Not scared. I'm like, the level he's playing on is insane. Like, to go from what he showed last season to Milan, to this, I'm like, I like it, but I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I'm just waiting for it to collapse, right?
Well, let's think. So he won the Scudetto starting beside Tomori, right? 2 years ago? What? 2 years ago?
No, it was
3 years ago. 3 years ago. Okay. So then he had another season. I forget how he was. Probably not great. And then he had a really bad injury, right?
Yeah.
So now he comes to Juventus and he's starting at center back. Well, he started at right back first. Now he's playing center back. Obviously, what are his strengths? Athleticism. He's competent on the ball. Okay. Under Thiago Motta, does that work?
It works perfectly.
That's the ideal, right? Okay. So now we get that out of the way. What will make him regress? He has all the confidence in the world now. He even saying into the media, he's like, "You guys forgot about me, eh?" Or whatever he said, something like that. What could possibly make this go wrong or put this south.
It sounds too good to be true.
No, 100%. I agree with you. I'm just trying to think though. Like he fits the way Motta wants to play. Right? He's playing. He's confident right now because he's playing all the time. He's in a position where he wants to be center back. I don't know where. Like I guess if they start losing and he gets pissed off, I don't know.
You know what it is? If I ask people, remember when we went from Calafiori, Toribo to Kalulu?
Yes.
Like the angry meter was at 10 or panic meter.
I was there. I was part of it. Throw my hands up. 100%.
If I need to, pull that panic meter out again, I think people are like, oh yeah, we were in for Calafiori and Toribo. Forgot that. I'm like, that was like a month and a half ago or something like that. Like, it feels too like I'm scared to jump on the. I was wrong. So far, I was wrong on Kalulu. I said like I didn't see him play to the level he did in the first season. Actually, I think he's playing even better than that season with Milan right now. I think it's better. Yeah. And I was like, it's impossible that we will reach that level again. It felt like, because at that point, it felt like a fluke season. Everything worked for Milan. Yeah. That's how it came across. Right now.
Yeah, that's what you've been saying forever. Like the Pioli coach, like how do you get these guys to play? Yeah.
Yeah, like the team was rubbish. Like that was not a good team. I'm sorry. Yeah. But he managed to win that. I was like, that's fluky. I guess like look Tomori right now. Like it's horrible.
Yeah. Oh my God, Tomori, disaster.
It's it's insane. So I'm just scared. Like I don't want to jinx him. Maybe.
No, for sure.
But he's playing
new. It's
out
brand
of his
new.
skin.
It's 9 games. Yeah. And he was amazing against Leipzig.
Oh, he was insane.
Yeah. He blocked like 3 goals and then he dribbled the ball up at the last second to get Conceição the goal. Like I'm like, oh my God, this guy.
The flip side is I'm like that when Bremer went down, I'm like, well, if Motta can do that with Kalulu in about a month or so, I'm less worried than if we went down Bremer last season or the season before.
Yeah, that's fair as well. And even like I don't want to put this back, but on Gatti looks all right.
He looks all right.
I don't trust him still because we've known him for how long? He's not a Serie A Scudetto winner. Like he's Gatti, so I don't know about him. But the Kalulu thing, I'm like, I'm sold almost, like 98% sold.
Yeah, I mean,
I want to see how he reacts after like a bad game from the team,
or for himself. Like everybody has.
For sure. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I want to see if that escalates or he just throws it out the window. He's good the next game. I want to see that first. A reaction.
Yeah, maybe have a Bremer type of game away to Napoli 2 seasons ago.
Yeah. Oh fuck. Oh, that was stinky.
That was probably the worst defensive performance I've seen from a Juve defender in a very long time. Like that was just a nightmare from minute 1 to minute 90. But yeah, let's see. You still have. No, let's talk about someone really quickly because he gets a lot of stick, and I'm not really sure why. Because of the things he cannot do, and I'm like, he's not that profile. Like if you want him to beat his opponent and overlap like a madman, you're looking at the wrong profile. Motta plays him because defensively he's reliable. That's it. Motta can trust him, and actually, the last couple of games, I think he's just playing with confidence, and he actually bombs forward way more than the first couple of games he played. But defensively, he's solid. When I said, and I had a discussion with someone, I said, he had Kvara on lock. And people are like, yeah, but he didn't do anything in attack. I'm like, he wasn't asked to do that. He was asked to just keep Kvara out of that game for 90 minutes or whatever he played. And that's what he did, period. And Motta will probably praise the hell out of him in the locker room. We will look at it and be like, going forward, you were non-existent. Motta will look at it being like, perfect.
Job done, buddy.
You're
the best.
You kept the best.
You start next week.
You kept their best player out of the squad, and they were toothless. We were toothless, but that's not your issue. But what do you think about the kid? I think he's 21, right?
He's 20 or 21.
But from Serie C to this,
yeah, he gives me Guardiola vibes, where he's like a center back, but like a fullback as well. And Guardiola, does he bomb forward? No. Or does he hangs out around the 18-yard box and back towards his goal, right? Like Guardiola never overlaps.
No, it just pops up here and there.
Pops up here. Yeah, okay. I'm not saying he's to that. He doesn't do that, but like defensively solid, and then he gives support, and then he keeps it easy, simple. And he's a big dude, solid kid, and he defends really well, like you said. I have no problem with him starting.
I think some. You
like
know
against Rafael Leao, well, we'll see, because that is another freak athlete. Like far as a bit different, you can bully him a bit, but Leao is a bit different to go up against. In different shapes, like with other teams, like Inter's going to play 3-5-2. How's he going to do with DeMarco out there? And then will he get support on the inside with Thuram? I don't know. But for now, against these teams that he's played against, looks great.
Maybe it's because we have Cambiasso on the other side, and it's very...
Yeah, the expectation is totally different, though. That dude is... what do you want to call that guy? Rover.
You know, how many teams do have two kind of fullbacks like Cambiasso? I don't... Like,
none of them. No teams do.
I think it's already difficult to maintain balance with having one player doing, I'm going on an adventure type of vibes throughout the game. If you have two, then it's hard to contain both of them and tell one, hey, if he goes, you need to stay. Like, I think it gets very complicated. Maybe that's kind of the issue. Where with Savona, it's simple, it's clean, and it is what it is, basically.
Yeah, when Cambiasso goes, Savona chills, and you get three at the back now. You're good.
I think people have been harsh for him so far. Some of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I haven't been online, I guess, a lot to see what they're saying. But I honestly, I'm fine with him.
It's like, for example, like in Bangula, when people watch him play, it's like, he doesn't go pacey behind his players. He doesn't be... I'm like, if Bangula plays the way he plays right now, he's going to play a ton of games. Because it's not flashy, but he makes the right decision basically every single time. And maybe it's boring. Yeah, maybe it's boring, whatever. However, Motta is on that side, and it's like, that's it. If you keep it clean and you just link it up and you do the simple things
defend well,
then you're going to play a lot of games. Like it or dislike it, that's how it is right now. So
I agree.
Even for him, like for Mbangula, he gets a lot of stick. I'm like, nobody knew him actually before, knew him. Nobody was expecting him to be in part of the first team, So the expectations, you did. But it's crazy to have insane expectations for it. You can say maybe, it's not good enough. However, to have a list of things you want him to do, I'm like, I didn't watch a lot of Mbangula, but from the little I've seen, I'm like, even if you only watch him this season, I'm like, some of the things on the list are just not realistic for the profile he is. So I don't know. Maybe it's again because you see Conceição play and he's not there. One game it's like, look what Conceição does, and I'm like, I mean,
Conceição's different, man. He's been trained up since he was little. Like he had a professional family environment. You know what I mean? And Bangula is just like a kid he came to Juventus's next gen team. Different upbringings, like Portuguese national team right away for Conceição. It's different. It's just different.
Like Conceição, for example, he played Champions League football. These guys were playing Latina last season or whatever, or Provercelli last season in front of 10 people. Like the step up it's not even Serie B. Like it's literally Serie C to you're gonna start the first game against Como. Like it's
even now, Magula's not making the Belgian national team. He's still making the U21 one, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's playing for them.
Conceição scoring in the Euro Cup. Like you can't have them at the same. You can't expect the same shit.
No, I'm.
Especially right now when he's fresh, like when like you said, when he came out of the blue for most people, your expectations cannot be the same.
Let's see, because right now, they're all lined up to play a lot of games.
Of course
they're gonna play. So let's see how much he will develop, especially in Bangula. Savona, I think he will be who he is right now. But
I think Savona's a lifer at Juventus until he drops off.
Frabotta style, only better.
Frabotta went on a free to West Brom, so I don't know. Hopefully not that.
One good game or so, Frabotta.
He scored that one goal under Pirlo, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's Zambrotta." No, it's Frabotta. Fraud.
He went to West Brom on a free. Crazy. We will have something if they sell him to
Yes, 50% resale.
Wickham or something.
Yes.
Let's talk about the other guy we just mentioned, Conceição. Because right now, against teams that sit back, it feels like, you know, that meme where, no, forget about it, I'm not going to say it. Like, he is the savior. Like, right now, not the only solutions, because I think we are getting better at breaking teams now. Like, we are finding more solutions. However, he is the clear outlet where it's like,
yes,
it's you. And remember when we signed him? When we signed him, and I was like, he reminds me of Chiesa in terms of they're just gonna take on their player 100 times, and maybe the first 10 times it's absolute rubbish. You know, it's like just running straight into a brick wall. He will do it the 11th time, and he will beat this man, and that's the moment you all were kind of hoping for.
Do you want to know? Sorry, do you want to know like a quick thing about? Do you remember Vlahovic's first goal in the Champions League?
Yeah.
Like against Leipzig. Against Leipzig.
Yeah, against Leipzig.
Do you know how Conceição, like, he fucked up a dribble and it still worked out? Up.
Yeah, he tripped over his own.
But that's what you can do though. Like that's good.
That's it. Against Cagliari, it was relentless. Like, it was for 90 minutes, and I was like, dude, you must be tired right now, no?
Well, 89. Yeah, he took a rest. He dove.
Well, he dove, apparently. But like, it was for 90 minutes, and he kept, like, compared to the others who just played on Wednesday with 10 men, very intense. So it felt like, he can just go for another 90 minutes at this point. You know, it's what we need, I think. You know, to balance out, because Gonzalez played completely like the pace level they play on is like it's insane. You know, the difference between a player like Gonzalez and Conceição is just, you cannot put into words. Like, one is chilled.
I hate to be on a 5-a-side team and they're on the same 5-a-side team, because that's one guy's playing Pirlo pace, the other guy's playing Ronaldo pace.
It's
100 miles an hour.
One wants to control it and be 1,000% sure before he makes that decision. And with Conceição was like, even at times, like, I think I'm looking at him like, you're dribbling yourself into trouble, and then he changes it, you know, and he just turns around and he recycles it and he goes again. So how much? It's a miss against Lazio, period.
100%.
But how important is he to beat teams? Well, sit back low, you know, period.
Yeah.
But also a team like Inter will probably come at you.
Yeah, so I was going to say, if everyone's fit, I don't think he starts against Inter, but then he comes on like 65 minutes and he just tries to torch. He tries to make DeMarco and Bastoni defend. Like, he's that kind of guy. Like, he'll start against the crap teams where you have to beat low blocks and whatnot. But I still think the coach will start Nico ahead of Chico in those big games. I wouldn't personally. You got a talent like that, you just let him rock.
I'm saying.
Yeah, just let him rock, because you got the like we said, like, Yildiz doesn't play fast either if you have him on the left. So you mentioned balance. Like, Cambiaso is the relentless rover on the left. Yildiz is the let's analyze what's going on here as a left winger. Savona chills as the right back, and then like, it's all good balance. Conceição is just 100 miles an hour dribbling, trying to create stuff. Those four out wide, it's perfect. I think it's good balance.
I agree, and I agree with. I will play Conceição. You know,
I personally, but I don't see Motta playing him, starting him in the bigger games to start. You know what I mean? Like, to see at the beginning of the season.
I agree. Like, the only way he changes his mind if he goes out against Stuttgart and absolutely torches him, goes to Inter, does the same thing, and you kind of leave him with no choice, like himself, with no choice, and be like, okay, it's up to you, Gonzalez, to get back into the team, because this is it.
Different.
Yeah, it's different. So maybe, you know, but right now, off to a good start, I guess.
Oh man, yes, absolutely. How could, like, no one cares, no one faults him for a right. I fault him a bit. I was like, what? Do you think it was a dive?
He let him go down, but I won't call it a dive. I think, like,
so,
a dive.
Yeah, there's two scenarios. Yeah, they're dove, like, he did go down easy, but like, there was still contact there. The ref doesn't have to The ref says, okay, you're allowed contact. It's not a penalty shot. Never a penalty shot, by the way.
No.
It's never a penalty shot. But like, okay, he had his hand on his shoulder and he fell. Oh well.
You know what it is with the hand, because we all play football. Sometimes, like even the slightest touch, when you, I don't know, like
it's weird to explain. He's 5'4".
That's it. And when
he's
you're
tiny.
playing low, you lose your footing a little bit, and you're just gone, you know. And it looks weird, you know. And for you, it feels like, oh my god, you pushed me because I was gone. But it was like it was never a yellow. That like the ref just lost. Like he just caught up in the emotions, you know. The worst part.
You see how he literally sprinted over there and smiled.
It's like he had something. Like that's not even like you give him the red card. Fine. If you come out afterwards and you say, as an association, the ref messed up, they fucked up. It's not a yellow, and you're like, but he's gonna get suspended and fined because you get a fine because you dove. I'm like, you guys are insane. You're nuts.
What is? Can you what's the word called? Can you challenge second yellows?
No, that's it. A red.
Okay,
yes,
well then
second.
there you go.
But in England, Bruno, you know, forget about, like, let's just common sense. Like, it makes no sense, which makes it worse. The ref is not even suspended. He just can go on. I'm like, that makes no sense. However, I made a video. It's pointless to complain if the club sits back and he's like, cool, then whatever. If you don't care, it's pointless for me to care, right? You know.
That's how Juventus usually acts. So they don't say much.
If the club comes out with a statement, I will back that statement and I will go nuts. But right now, I'm like, if that's the way you want to go as a club, then fine. You know, if you accept it, it is what it is. Now we miss him against Lazio, and it's a problem because how much I do not rate Lazio, they're still up there. You know, I don't think they're a very good team, to be honest. I think they're decent, but I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, we should be scared from Lazio. We shouldn't. You know, absolutely not.
It'll be tough to beat them, though,
it will be tough.
Players missing.
But that's it. But usually we beat Lazio at home with great ease. But, you know, maybe we're not good at home. Good at home. We cannot win at home right now.
Are we home?
We play at home.
Do we actually?
We play at home.
No, I think we play at home against Inter, no?
No, we play away to Inter.
Oh, okay.
So
we have two home games in a row. We have Cagliari home and then Lazio home.
We have Cagliari at home.
We just played Cagliari at home and then we play Lazio at home right away? I didn't know that. I thought it was always switched.
Now you're making me doubt.
No, I was just asking you. I know Stuttgart.
We play at home. We play at home.
Oh, okay. And Stuttgart's at home too.
We have two home games and then we have away to Inter.
Inter.
Yeah. But like we still need to beat Lazio. We need to find a way, like you said, just find a way to beat Lazio. That's
like Vlahovic is still playing, Yildiz is still playing, Locatelli is still playing, Kalulu is still playing, Cambiasso is still playing. Like you still have good players.
Yeah. Well, actually, let's talk about the next and probably the last big topic is that midfield. Like 7-9 games total into the season, it's still a question mark. Like for me, it's still
there's no guaranteed starter.
No, I thought Locatelli was one. Well, he's not. I think the only guaranteed one is Koopmeiners right now. That's it.
Yeah, and that's not based on merit, by the way.
No, but it's based on Motta views him key.
Yes,
you know? That's it. You know, he views him as a key player. He's gonna play. But like, McKennie is playing. Locatelli, then Fagioli comes in. Thuram came back from injury. He goes in, and Douglas Luiz is whatever right now. What do you think the midfield battle should be?
Sorry, I just had someone FaceTime me.
No, you're bad. What do you think the midfield battle should look like? Ideally, what do you think your midfield should look like? And then we will go into the situation with surrounding the players individually.
So you want me to name my ideal three or how we should do it going into these games? No,
your ideal three. What do you think is the most balanced midfield?
Okay, so I don't know if Fagioli's done a lot for me lately. Locatelli didn't put a foot wrong. Thuram was kind of bad. Not gonna lie, over his little whatever all the games he played. Like especially Cagliari, he was not good. Douglas Luiz had one really bad game against Leipzig, but he was all right. Like he's all right. He conceded 2 penalty shots, which doesn't make it better. And then Koopmeiners obviously has to play, and then McKennie. McKennie, He's like a cockroach. He never dies. He's just always in the conversation. Okay. Koop Meiners has to start because, like we said, he's going to start, and he has the brains to start, and he has the technical ability to start. He's very unlucky not to score a goal so far. So I'll start him as an attacking midfield. I like Douglas Luiz, though. I know people are, like, crushing him. He had, like I said, one bad game against Leipzig and then 2 penalties against him. But other than that, he's been okay. So I start him still, and I start Locatelli.
Okay. Well, you know Julian's Twitter handle. You can go and hate on there, people.
Yeah.
With Douglas Luiz, you know what? You know what the funny / sad part is?
What?
The things we're slating him for, or like criticizing him for, have nothing to do with his abilities. It's just
I know
head losses, like just complete.
Yeah.
Okay, against Leipzig,
the
he
handball.
was poor. Like on the ball against Leipzig, horrible. Like he couldn't
Yeah.
clear the ball, like to save his
Yes.
life. It was insane. At one point, I was like, just sit out. Let's play with 9 because you're gonna throw that game away for some reason.
Yeah.
It felt like Evra against Bayern at one point.
Yeah.
But the problem with him is just, I think it's mine. Like it's actually messed up in terms of, like, he's actually scared to play. Like that's how, like, when he comes on the pitch, and like
I don't feel that, though. I don't feel that because he's nutmegging people, and he's
nutmegging,
like,
but the
yeah,
pace,
but
like
that's confidence, though. That's confident. Like
it's a nonchalant pace. Like it's very nonchalant, where it's like
Yes,
you're
I
gonna
agree.
mess up at one point. That's the vibe I get right now. You're just gonna mess up just because the way you're playing right now. It feels off the pace compared to the others. It feels like it's off the pace.
Like he's not moving the ball as fast as Fagioli, but he moves the same speed as Fagioli. Let's say that. Do we agree on that?
Oh, like movement, yes.
Yeah.
But the ball
So
handling.
if he releases the ball a little bit faster than like Fagioli, I think he starts over Fagioli, to be honest. If he's releasing the ball faster.
Well, now if he has no choice, like he is gonna play, right? Like
Yeah,
we do not have players left. We don't have players left, so I don't think there's a. I want to say there is no chance he's not gonna play, but who knows? You know.
Well, on
if he doesn't play right now, then
against
he's gonna
against
play.
Cagliari, he put Fagioli as the 10 when he took Koop Meiners off. Correct?
Yeah.
Or am I incorrect?
No.
Yeah. No.
No. He played. He pushed him forward.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't like Fagioli there.
I agree.
Remember I said at the beginning of the season I was like, maybe try him there. But I was like, or maybe a year ago or something. I just said,
It was a year
let
ago.
him go there. Yeah. I was like, and now I'm seeing him. And I don't like that. He's too nonchalant as well, Fagioli. I like him better collecting the ball in a Pirlo quote unquote role.
Oh, against Leipzig, he was just magnificent. Like he was just unbelievable.
Like, elegant, never lost the ball.
No, it was just
perfect.
Like everything he did was like even just turning. Like it felt like Pirlo. Like it just felt like it's clean, you know. And if he can replicate that week in, week out, I think the issue right now is he can't really, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the issue, and not because I don't think he was poor against Cagliari, but the difference with the Leipzig game, and that's why I said that the standard for Leipzig was here, and now we need to find a balance. Maybe it's in the middle every single time, which is good. But I was surprised that he benched Locatelli for that was my shock.
So random.
He was playing well, Locatelli. I thought
he didn't make a mistake. Like could not make a mistake. Defensively solid. Didn't like what your gripe with him was the way he passed the ball. He was perfect. Not perfect, but like he was excellent. So it was a shock that when he's a staple for me. Still,
maybe you know, like. I did it before, like, you're starting Rui and we won against Genoa. You're starting Fagioli away to Leipzig and he was excellent.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do it again and be like, why are you playing this guy? You know, I like the benefit
don't
of
question
the
him at this point.
It can, but I was shocked. I was really shocked. I couldn't believe it. Like I was like,
like he started McKennie and Fagioli in a Champions League game after playing on the weekend, the same midfield.
That's it. That's why I was like, wow. That's very random. I tweeted out before the game. I was like, if this midfield holds up against Leipzig, perfect. It held up with 10 men at one point. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I cannot really question it anymore. Because, well, you're right at this point. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You're right. The decisions you're making for 90% are spot on. They're just correct. So
literally the only not mistake, but the only thing like that there's a problem is in the attacking third.
Oh, there's the only 100%.
That's the only then that comes from the training field and instilling his philosophy. But that's the only thing that fans could have a problem with right now.
It is improving, I think. I think it's improving. It's you know what it is. I think, and it's maybe a big the more coal miners get involved, because I think coal miners playing well. Like
he's getting the good spots. He's not wasting any balls either. Like
it's just the
creating.
Final decision is missing right now, and I think that will solve a lot of issues for us.
This guy could have 3 goals already. By the way,
should have that's and maybe
easy goals.
I think he's one of those players right now in this moment. If he gets one, it's gone. Like he doesn't stop right now, but he's getting in better and better positions. We will find, I trust Motta to find a solution in the final third, because we have enough to not look like this at times in the final third, because we move the ball extremely well up to the point where I'm like, you cannot do that so well and then be at that one point where you are in and be like, no idea what to do. Like it just can, maybe it's about execution or I don't know, but it needs to get better. Like that's why I said when we play teams that are open up, then it will. It's very easy. Like it looks easy for us. It looks much easier. If teams kind of close up shop, then it's like I said. Right now, it's Conceição will do it or have that one moment. A pen or something, break it open, and like Genoa, you got that one goal, and Genoa like, okay, now we need to play and. Well, that was the worst idea they could have made. Yeah. It just got worse. I think they would be better off just sit back and wait for that one moment like Cagliari kind of did. Yeah. But that's on coaching. That's why I not call them out, but I was like, okay, we need to improve on that 100%. Because you have quality enough up front to look more, I don't know, more decisive, I want to say. That's it. You have quality players up top. More than enough right now. In that area, you should be doing better, So that's on Motta, but I'm calm right now. Like I don't.
Yeah, you can't. Again, like you said, you can't. No, not at all. You can't. It's 5 wins, 4 draws. Like the only thing is, obviously, like you said, the final third stuff against those shit teams has to be way better. Even like you should beat Roma, you should beat Napoli. Let's not kid ourselves.
I was at that Roma game.
Yeah, I know.
It was like. Come on. Like, I was watching that Roma team, and I know they set back. I'm like, we cannot drop points against this team at home. Like, we just can't, and we did, and we deserve to drop points. But against Napoli as well, and I saw people, coming out saying, oh, but Napoli didn't came to play. They why would they,
Yeah.
It's a point at the stadium. Conte will be on that fly back and be like, amazing. And we should have done better that day because I think we have more quality than Napoli, but we should be doing better, So that's on Motta to find a solution because we're not going to play, a Leipzig and like these teams like teams will close up against us. They will,
Yeah.
And that's right.
Yeah. It's like when Arsenal started to get good, everyone started to close up shop, and then they're like, "Oh my God, what do we do?"
Yeah, basically. So.
And this is going to be the same thing with us now. The teams are like, "Oh my God, these guys are decent," and we're gonna just sit 10 guys behind the ball. Cagliari, perfect. Like who coaches Cagliari? Hats off to him.
You don't think teams sit back against Man City? They do.
100%, but they figure it out. They got good players. Figure it out. And Pep Guardiola is the best for a reason.
Yeah, but like how many? Like I watch a lot of City. Enough City games to at one point it's like they're playing volleyball in front of that 16-yard box, just bopping around, waiting for that one moment or somebody taking a great shot or that one pass. I feel like we are trying to do that to a certain extent. I think it's more stretch out for us right now.
Yeah.
It's not too very concentrated like City do at times.
Yeah.
However, at one point I need a cold miner to take that shot or a Fagioli to take that shot. It needs to happen at one point. That needs to happen. But I think that's just coaching in training, and then also the players being confident enough to do that on match day.
Yeah, it's another thing though. Like all these guys hurt when you go to training. Like how do you instill how do you get this to get better? All these guys are missing. Like Nico Gonzalez. Holy crap! How many games did he play? 3?
Yeah, I think
maybe.
Yeah, I think 3. I think 3.
He played the 2 Champions League games and
played-
maybe 2 league games, and that's it.
Yeah, 3, 4
So
games.
4. Yeah. How is he gonna get coached up? Like it's already mid-October, and now he's out until what? The end of October.
Yeah, we're missing a lot of players right now.
Like at least Conceição can train and he can still like understand the ideas. Like Koop Miners can wear that vest and still train and understand and get an understanding. But like Nico, done. Who else is out? Weah, like you're available, I guess. So at the beginning, so I guess you could learn in preseason.
I would have put much stock in Weah.
Oh, I'm just saying, like at least he's there. He's a body.
I keep forgetting he's playing for us. I'm not gonna lie. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, well, he's gotten hurt in 2 different occasions already.
I can every time I see him popping up on the screen, I'm like, he plays for us. Like he actually,
honestly, that guy needs to be a center forward for us.
If he if we sell Weah 10 years from now, if you show me a picture, I need to think. I'm like, that's Weah. I think like I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that he plays for us. I don't know. Like he's very injury prone. That's it.
Yeah. Both his goals have gone bar down.
Yeah.
That's his claim to fame.
That's it, basically. Final one, and then we wrap it up because talking about players we forget playing for us is Cabal. I was at the game when he got hooked at halftime. Did not have an absolute stinker. Wasn't good in the first half against Napoli. Not gonna lie. It looked a bit. Roma, excuse me. Roma. It looked a bit uncomfortable. Like it never felt at ease. We didn't like at times he went for it, but that was not the moment to go for it, and he got caught out behind. It wasn't good.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him since, and that's a very long time ago. That's very long.
Yeah.
And now we're in a situation where I'm like, okay, we are gonna need you again. When he played Rui and these guys, I'm like, what the hell happened? Because he played the first game.
I thought he was waiting for Leipzig because they're fast.
I was like, fast. I was like, he's gonna play him against Leipzig, but that's not the case. So Motta talked about it. He said, no, everything is cool, and you will get the shot again. He's training well, blah blah blah. The usual stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because you thought he was gonna displace Danilo. Well, it's not him who displaced Danilo. It was every single living soul at the Continassa displacing Danilo right now. But what do you think? Because we're gonna need him. And what do you make of that? What was it? First 3 games he played, basically 2.5.
He was erratic with the ball, but he's very solid defender. Like just one-on-one, straight up one-on-one defender. And he's very athletic. Obviously, if you're not good with the ball, except if your name's Weston McKennie, you're not gonna start a lot of games. But if your name's Weston McKennie and you're not good with the ball, you're starting. I don't know. That's the one that. Oh, and Vlahovic. He's not good with the ball. Let's get serious for a sec. That guy's like we haven't talked about him, but wow. Talk about inconsistent and whatnot. But we'll go back to Cabal. I would try him as a left back again, and then I would try him as a center back beside Kalulu. If you need Gatti to have a rest, like I would try him as a left center back. Why not?
Do you trust him enough as a center back?
I trust him enough as a center back athletically and to defend well and to give the ball to people who are good with the ball.
Okay, so yes.
And I've also seen him dribble out of corners of those first couple of games, in tight spaces. Like he's not a grenade with the ball. He's kind of a grenade with the ball. I'm talking myself out of the grenade or out of the
center back
being okay with No, he can start some. He can start some games. Like he's not bad.
We're gonna need him.
Start games.
We're gonna need him. So you better, I don't know if his confidence is down.
Honestly, I would trust him. That's my point. I would trust him to start games.
That's fair. It wasn't Douglas Luiz moments where I'm like,
no.
As a defender, that's not good. It's just it was off. But against Roma, a lot of players were off the pace that game. So I was like, maybe a bit harsh, but we haven't seen him since. So like starting Rui over him, it's like, ooh, what happened? Like, did I miss something? Or just Rui getting these players getting more opportunities than him ever since. I'm like, did I miss something? But I don't know. Maybe that's how Motta operates right now. So
he has his choice of the pick of the litter for defenders minus Bremer right now though. So that department of the team is not really affected. He has many players. Are they good? Well, we got to find out.
we'll see.
Well, yeah, and the attack is where he doesn't have that many choices.
No, no.
But going back on that, I would not be surprised on the game Saturday. You said if Cambiasso starts right wing, Mangula starts left wing, Yildiz starts in the middle, and then Vlahovic starts up top, and then left back is Rui. I wouldn't be surprised, and then Kalulu, Gatti, Savona.
I agree.
And then take your pick for the two midfielders. I have fucking no idea at this point.
I agree. I wouldn't be shocked if you see Cambiasso there, in that position. I want to have your quick thoughts on Vlahović because
okay, yeah,
because talked about an emotional week. Like his goal catalog is actually insane. Like the goals,
it's a penalty or it's amazing.
It's like the some of the goals he scores are just absolute worldies, like pure quality. Where you're like, wow. Even the Genoa game, the second, I was like, clean, man, clean.
Yeah.
And then he like against Cagliari, I don't think he was having a poor game. By the way, like I was not looking at it. I was like, horrible.
I know, man.
But when you miss that, and I get it, players miss
22 million euros a year.
You know what it is? I've seen the best miss absolute sitters.
Yeah,
I've seen it. So it's not you miss the sitter. It's I don't know. It's a moment. I have a feeling it's too many times. It's a moment where I'm like, now you cannot miss. Like you cannot miss this time. Like you can miss next week or the week before, but today you cannot miss that chance. Just purely how the game is going, and he misses that, and I'm like, oh boy. And the worst thing is like, there's an international break. He has 2 weeks. He needs to sit on there. He needs to sit on that miss for 2 weeks. I'm like, I have no idea in which state he's going to come out against Lazio. We will have Leipzig Vlahović or we will have the Cagliari miss Vlahović on Saturday against Lazio. There's no in between.
So my Zio I talk to all the time. He comments on the show or on your channel quite a bit. I was talking to him. I'm like, okay, I'm almost over him on the team. You could. I'm almost over it. I'm almost over it because you cannot miss that many chances. You cannot play garbage for the first 5 games, and then have that. And then the media starts calling you out, and then has a 2-goal game, 2-goal game, 1-goal game. You can't do that. You make 22 million euros. Half his goals are penalties, and then the other 2 are like the ones out against Leipzig. What is he? Who is this guy?
He's very inconsistent.
Yeah, and so it wasn't even the goal thing. The first 5 games of the season before he got called out by everybody, how was he playing without the ball or with the ball not in non-shooting areas? Shit. Like his first touch was garbage. His back to goal play was garbage. His passing was garbage. Then after he got called out, whatever during the game during the spell where he got 5 goals, it was beautiful. Like you said, proper center forward play, back to goal stuff, neat touches around, passing more accurate, and then he scored his goals on top of that, and then he misses that, and I'm like, oh my god, what are we doing here? You can't be making 22 million euros.
I call him a confidence player, but like when he missed that chance against Cagliari, I'm like, man, your confidence should be at an all-time high right now. So
yeah,
I think even that comment right now, even if I made that comment and still making that, I'm like, is it what do you like? You scored from Sunday to Sunday. You scored 5 games between Genoa and that moment against Cagliari. It was 5 goals. Excuse me.
Yeah.
2 pens, whatever, but 3 excellent. Like that first one against Leipzig was, I thought, better than the second one. But
it's hard to shoot across your body like that first time.
Yeah, it's not easy. Like if you touch that ball, it can go straight forward into the stands. Like, and it could absolutely look ridiculous. I'm like, how can I look at you and be like, oh my god, and at the same time be, oh my god, like what have, like, it's insane. Like, I think that will be studied in about 10 years. There will be a case on that, like an essay written on like how the hell he scored certain goals and did not score certain goals. Like, it's just insane. But I think right now he's here. and we're just gonna need to deal with it. Like that's who he is. I made
For sure.
I made my
Yeah.
peace with it. That's the player he is right now. I made my peace with it.
You're at your piece with him making 22 million euros and
No.
being inconsistent.
No. But no, he doesn't make 20. Like the club pays 22. I get it.
Yeah.
But that's I'm not gonna, like I've said it many times. I'm not gonna hate a player on that. That's just me, because the club, the deal is rubbish. We're paying him signing bonuses in his wage. That's not his actual wage. When the signing bonuses quit, it's not 12 million. It's just not. He cannot demand that because he knows he's not gonna get that.
Yeah.
That I get, but if you told me, like I expect Mbappe to do crazy things because I know he's worth 12 million. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
If you tell me we're paying Vlahović 12 million, I'm like, you're not gonna get Mbappe's style of output because he's not a 12 million player. But he needs to do better. Like I've come on this season and said that's just rubbish. Like period.
Yeah. Those first 5 games or whatever. The first five or 6 games. 5. I'll say 5 games.
My most frustrating part is that he gets in good areas as well. It's not that he just cannot read the game when I'm like, oh my God, you're always too late to every single time, every single cross or whatever. It's not that as well. That's what makes it even more frustrating for me, So it is what it is. I also don't think it helps that he's the only body we have up there.
No, it doesn't help.
There's no competition at all. So it doesn't help. And if Bremer was fit, we'll probably do something in January. I think rightfully so. The club is looking at other priorities right now. You know. But we will see. Maybe we'll see Gonzalez up front. Number 9, Timothée Weah. Oh boy.
No, Jonathan David, man.
Yeah,
Respect.
he's not gonna join us, especially not on a free. Like impossible.
Respect.
Right now. It's impossible. I think in the summer he would have better options. Because I made a video on that really quickly. I said he's not coming to be a backup, and people are like, oh, he's gonna bench Vlahović. The club is not gonna bench a 12 million player. It's just not gonna happen. If they don't resolve that situation, Jonathan David is not coming into the club with the idea of, well, Vlahović, you're gonna sit on the bench, 12 million a season. We're not in that financial state as a club. It's just not happening. So we will see. We will see what will happen. But that's it, people. We're gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna let Julian eat the leftovers. I think it is. No? Oh no.
Oh, I'm going to my mom's house now, so we're gonna have some fresh food. Oh, not turkey though. Only turkey once a day. Once a weekend.
Once a weekend.
Yeah.
So that's it. No turkey. Maybe chicken. Who knows? Basically the same thing. It's basically the same.
Chicken parm.
Yeah. Okay. That's better than turkey. But yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, people. I forgot to say it at the beginning, so hit the like button. Probably not gonna happen right now. Messed up. Is what it is. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit that bell notification. Next podcast will probably be next international break. I think that makes most sense because that will be after 7 and 10 games, and we will have a better picture of who we actually are, especially with all the injuries. But thanks for coming on, taking time off, a day off. And people, that's it for me. Stay tuned for tomorrow's show. Ciao.
Sweet.